Hi, my name is Mary. Today FM plays the best music in Lambasa. Today FM rocks.
My name is Thomas. I'm here in Nakasi and I like to listen to Today FM because it rocks.
My name is Milenia. Today FM rocks here in Singatoka.
My name is Alfriti and Today FM rocks here in Tabwa.
My name is Mary Jane. I love listening to Today FM here in Ba. Today FM rocks.
My name is Ilaiti Ambal and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks here in Osur.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
In the news tonight, trader faces charges in relation to Homes Care Initiative. PM says no more disparity between Ethiopians, and vessel owners told to employ locals before hiring abroad.
From the studios of FBC Suba.
A trader will soon be charged by the Fijian Competition and Consumer Commission of the alleged abuse of the Homes Care program. Commission Chief Executive Joel Abraham says once the allegations are investigated, then they will lead charges by the end of this week or early next week. Anna Ravulo with the details.
Since the Joint Task Force of FCCC and Consumer Council started its monitoring this month for the Homes and Farm Care initiatives, there have been several notices given out to traders.
And we've sent people out and started gathering preliminary information. So far we've issued out notices to 42 different traders, and preliminary investigations have started.
We have received about 25 complaints recently on home care initiative as well as farm care initiative. So the complaints are with us, and we are working with the FCCC to analyze these complaints and to see how we can provide redress to consumers.
The FCCC says the traders must be honest when dealing with consumers on this sort of initiatives.
What we've noted is traders have been actually doing some very questionable things that require in-depth investigation. Things such as giving out certain items which were not supposed to be on the list, and then putting out items which are on the list which the consumers haven't taken.
A team will be sent to the West tomorrow to carry out further in-depth investigations, and anyone found giving false information could be fined up to $20,000, while those breaching the act could be fined $50,000, and if he were charged or taken to court, a maximum fine of up to $250,000 could be imposed on you. Anna Ravulo, FBC News.
The Ethiopian community is now being treated equally regardless of their status, says Prime Minister Vorenge Bainimarama. Bainimarama says too often the Ethiopian was subject to bias brought about by their own, and this resulted in a lot of disparity. He says gone are the days of people being classed a commoner or a chief when it came to government services. Ritika Pratap reports.
Speaking in Australia over the weekend, the Prime Minister said never before have all the Ethiopian people been treated equally, even amongst themselves. He says when providing government services and assistance, they don't make a distinction between chief and commoner. Vorenge Bainimarama says that is why they enacted the equal distribution of lease monies among all members of a land-owning unit, giving women and even young people their fair share. And 80% of the royalties from any mineral resources mined on any land or seabed go straight back to the owner. He says the constitution has done more to protect Ethiopian land and improve the well-being of the Ethiopians. Bainimarama says ridiculous claims are often made by opposition members that the Ethiopian and their land are insecure in Fiji. But despite their efforts to sow fear, he says the fact remains that not 1 millimeter of Ethiopian land has been lost under his leadership. He also says the Ethiopians have long faced the issue of being asset rich but cash poor. Bainimarama says the government is assisting land-owning units and individuals who want to develop Ethiopian land by making roads and providing connectivity to water and electricity. He says the government bears the infrastructure cost, so Ethiopian landowners under this scheme can lease out the lands directly themselves and get the benefits. The Prime Minister says it also makes for productive use of idle Ethiopian land and thereby contributing to and growing the economy. Ritika Pratap, FBC News.
All local fishing vessels and Fijian-registered commercial vessels must ensure employing locals is their top hiring priority. Maritime Safety Authority CEO John Tunindau highlighted this in a submission to the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Foreign Affairs and Defence concerning the review of the Port of Measures Agreement to prevent, deter and eliminate illegal, unregulated and unreported fishing. The Maritime Safety Authority says it is most important our local fisheries industry focuses on employing Fiji citizens.
First and foremost, we must give employment to our local fisheries before we even consider foreign fisheries. That's our duty as a nation. And it's there to protect them, to protect our local industry, to protect our local fisheries, to ensure that they have employment all the time.
Under the Maritime Ship Registration Regulations 2014, a Fiji ship engaged on an international voyage must have 70% of its crew as Fiji nationals, while fishing ships engaged in fishing in our territorial waters must have 70% Fijians. John Tunindau adds the MSF must also ensure that fishermen from overseas possess an authentic seafarer certificate.
You don't want people just wearing a certificate that they are not fishermen. It can happen, it has happened. So that's an issue under our legislation that we need to ensure that certificates are authentic, they are qualified and experienced. Otherwise, it brings about incidents, accidents, and mishaps in our Fiji waters.
Committee Chair Netani Rika recommended local fishermen must be well trained so they're competent while out at sea.
The attitude of the local fishermen, they go out, they come back, they are AWOL for 1 week and not there, and they have to stay and look for other people. That's why they buy for foreign workers.
Tunindau highlighted they've advised the Maritime Academy to include the risks associated with fishing in their curriculum, which was approved. The Defense Counsel for a former pilot charged with 1 count of murder today alleged in the Suva High Court that evidence was planted at the crime scene. It's alleged that on November 3, 2009, Imshad Israr Ali murdered his de facto partner, kindergarten teacher Rajeshni Sharma, at a residence on Rewa Street, Samambula. Pranita Prakash reports.
Inspector Sakyusa Jitoko, who carried out investigation at the crime scene 9 years ago, today denied the suggestion put by the Defense Counsel, Abhay Singh, that the iron rod uplifted as an evidence was planted. Jitoko carried out investigation at the crime scene on 3rd and 4th November. However, he mentioned about the iron rod in a statement on 14th November 2009. During the cross-examination, Jitoko said that he took photos of the iron rod. However, it was not disclosed in the photographic booklet, which was prepared before 14th November 2009. In re-examination, he said that he uplifted the iron rod as an evidence as he was aware that the deceased had also sustained head injuries. Apart from the iron rod, he had also uplifted a kettle cord as an evidence. He said that he suspected that the cord was also used on the deceased. Another prosecution witness, Sergeant Samuela Namuso, said that on 10th November 2009, he was instructed to look for Ali. Sergeant Namuso said a day later, he received a call from the receptionist of a motel in Suva to inform him of Ali. Namuso said the receptionist told him that Ali checked into the motel and would check out the next day. Namuso said he, along with other officers, went to the motel in Suva the next day in the morning and arrested Ali. The trial continues tomorrow. Pranita Prakash, FBC News.
Still to come, soldiers mark International Day of UN Peacekeepers, and Fashion Council of Fiji helps local designers. Stay with us.
Bula, neva ngo malakai leloma, ngo ngai nakas on rong nam bula feb, namban dua ena sere.
Hoya uvasit sai se lambasa, ya ondo talita ina warong ina bula FM namba 2 ena sere.
Gua do kimeli aku ena tau no hinga toka, talita kina na warong ina bula FM namba 2 ena sere.
Wana tuma na bula FM namba 2 ena sere maluan.
Na vengo fane na tau no singa toka, kita ondo talita kana bula FM namba 2 ena sere.
Bula FM namba 2 ena sere.
Today is the International Day of UN Peacekeepers, and a small but very significant event was held at the RFMF's Black Rock training camp in Nandi. Fiji sends about 1,000 soldiers to the Middle East each year as peacekeepers under the United Nations banner. Felipe Necaso has more.
At the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them.
The day, 29th May, offers a chance to pay tribute to the contributions of uniformed and civilian personnel who have served or are currently serving in peacekeeping duties around the world.
It is worth it is a sacrifice that our men and women do, not only them, but their families also, sacrificing to stay behind to allow their sons and daughters, husbands and wives to go across and help in parts of the world that need help.
This year, the United Nations celebrates the 70th anniversary of UN peacekeeping, with Fiji serving under the flag for the past 40 years.
They've served with honour and bravery, and they've done Fiji proud, and we in Australia take our hats off to them.
Fiji has also lost 56 soldiers during peacekeeping duties.
They go into peacekeeping missions with a heart that is committed to doing what is best for those people.
Currently, more than 700 Fijian soldiers are serving in various parts of the Middle East under the United Nations banner for peacekeeping duties. The commander of the RFMF has commended the work and contribution put in by these soldiers and also all the soldiers who have served under the United Nations banner. He also commemorated those that lost their lives serving in the Middle East. Philippa Naikaso, FBC News.
The Fashion Council of Fiji has set a platform for local designers who are ready to take their business to another level. Chair Faraz Ali says the Bottega Gold Fijian Fashion Festival aims to inspire budding designers while presenting a showcase of the immense talents that could carry Fiji into the international market. Kelly Vadala reports.
Preparations are underway for Fiji's first ever Bottega Gold Fijian Fashion Festival this weekend.
The national platform, it needs to be an aspirational event, and that's what the festival is. It is something that you come to when you are ready to take your design business to the next level, because it takes investment. We have a very long history of fashion in Fiji. So what you will be seeing at the Fijian Fashion Festival is all of that history and heritage really coming to fruition and to maturity.
Budding fashion designer Alipati Sowani is hopeful the event will help him tap into the business market.
My collection is based on some drawings that I used to do. All of the drawings, they collect and become a story. So I've named that story The Hidden People.
Successful coach from Laureate International University, Sabi Sorabi, says many of the designs tell a unique story, which is what fashion is all about.
The level of talent's just incredible. The work that's coming from here is spectacular. Are there challenges? Absolutely, but I think that's common to any industry and any market. But there is a lot of hope.
About 23 designers will be part of the fashion festival this weekend. Fijians can expect a wide range of trendy, creative and traditional wears. Kelly Vadala, FBC News.
Despite damages caused by recent floods and cyclones, the Fiji Sugar Corporation is optimistic of a good crushing season this year. FSC's Chief Operating Officer Navin Chandra says preparation for the crushing season is going well. Chandra says their main focus is to fix the cane access roads so that farmers don't face difficulties in transporting cane to the mills. He says 50% of cane access roads in Lambasa have been repaired, and the FSC plans to fix all other roads in Lambasa and the Western Division before crushing starts. Crushing at the Lambasa mill starts on June 19th, Lautoka mill starts on July 3rd, while the Rarawai mill starts crushing on July 17th.
Rarawai, for example, close to 25% of the road has been recorded to be completed. Remember that a lot more roads are completed, but we do not tick it off unless it's fully verified. So that's 25% in Rarawai, over 30% roads in Lautoka, and Penang has about 25% of the roads also completed.
The Fiji Development Bank is nearing completion of the process of obtaining funds from the Green Climate Fund. Last year, the government nominated the FDB as a nationally accredited entity through which the Green Climate Funds can be channeled. Speaking to FBC News, Chief Executive Mark Clough says possible projects which require funding have been identified. He adds these projects are aimed at not only benefiting Fiji's economy, but that of other Pacific Island countries.
Related they're in the transport sector, making vehicles more efficient, obviously. They're also in housing resilience. I mean, part of the Green Climate Fund is just not reducing power consumption. It's about, particularly for Fiji, making us more resilient to climate events such as floods and cyclones.
In sports later with Jamie, he will have all the latest in the world of sports, but up next is Rachel with business.
Thanks, Akko. Good evening, and coming up in Business Tonight. Microfinance Awards held to honor MSMEs. And in growing Fiji, Fiji Muslim League to build a multi-million-dollar complex. Stay with us.
Lola, I am Eleanor. For the best classic hits, I only listen to Gold FM here in Singapore. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Seni Rawa. I love listening to Gold FM here in Nosuri. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Dino. I'm from Outrigger, Coral Coast, Singatoka. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Salote. I love listening to Gold FM here in Nosuri. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Bula, my name is Marida. Gold FM plays the best classics here in Outrigger, Singatoka.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Leading business tonight, the Reserve Bank yesterday recognized the success of individuals and companies during the 2017 National Microfinance Awards. Permanent Secretary for Industry and Trade Shine Ali, while speaking at the awards, said he admires the micro-businesses' ability to empower people to determine their individual parts. Kritika Kumar reports.
The Fijian government wants to build a strong and resilient economy that enables Fijians to have a sustainable livelihood and better standard of living.
The Fijian government, as you've heard, has put in place a whole host of initiatives that aim to support the MSME sector. And this is, of course, embodied in our 5-year and 20-year National Development Plan.
The winners say this has paid off, but say they will not forget the challenges they faced throughout their journey.
I faced transportation problems since it's in the village, and also communication because I need to come to the urban to get more support, especially financially.
Somebody else does something as the same like you always do, but it's not the traditional one or the real thing that you always sell. That's the major challenge that I always face.
A total of 19 awards were given to recognize the important role that MSMEs play in creating jobs, and those present were reminded that taking risks and starting up their own SMEs could just be the start of success. Kritika Kumar, FBC News.
And we now join Sharon from HFC Bank with the latest from the money market.
An update on the financial markets. US stock futures ticked higher as officials expect a revival of the planned historic meeting between US and North Korea. The S&P 500 gained 0.2%, while Dow futures added 0.15%. Trade was subdued overnight with market holidays in the world's two biggest financial centers, London and New York, while Singapore markets are closed today. Traders will next focus their attention on US inflation data due later in the week. It could provide clues to a future interest rate increase ahead of next month's Federal Reserve policy meeting. So we'll wait to see how all this affects our Fiji dollar in days ahead. And that's all for now. Vinaka.
Thanks, Sharon. Taking a look at today's currency exchange rate set this morning for the Fijian dollar. Our dollar has been on the rise against most of the currencies we cover, slipping slightly against the Kiwi and the Japanese yen. As for the commodities market, oil prices were on the rise, with oil closing at $67 a barrel. Gold closed at $1,299 an ounce, and silver remains steady at $16.47 an ounce. And in growing Fiji tonight, the Fiji Muslim League has secured an agreement with the Islamic Development Bank in Saudi Arabia to finance its multi-million-dollar commercial and residential complex. The bank has approved over $24 million, which the league will have to pay, plus a fee within 12 years. Under the first phase, the league will build a shopping mall and complex on its land between Mid Road and Rotumara Road in Nambua, followed by a multi-story apartment building. The president says arrangements have been made to relocate families currently residing on the land.
We are working very closely with the government to assist the existing squatters. We will be moving mostly to land that we have allocated to them in Waindra Bau level. Some of them will go to other housing authority facilities, but majority of them will go to Waindra.
And that's it from business this evening. Jamie joins you now with the latest in sports.
Thanks, Rachel, and good evening. Up ahead in sports, Flying Fijians march into first camp of the year.
Hi, I'm Jyotishma. I'm from Singatoka. I love listening to Mirchi FM. Mirchi FM is hot.
Mirchi FM is #1.
I'm Charlene Robert. Mirchi FM rocks in Lambasa.
I'm Soname Nasori Jackson. Mirchi FM is hot.
My name is Raymond Dutt. I'm in Baba Singh Alliance. Mirchi FM is hot in Lambasa.
I'm Pritika from Jax Nasori. I love listening to Mirchi FM here in Nasori. Mirchi FM is hot.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
The Fiji Airways Flying Fijians regrouped this morning to begin preparations for the June Test Series. However, not all players are in camp yet. Some are expected to join the team later next month. Meli Tavanga reports.
After months tracking overseas-based players, head coach John McKee finally sees his 2018 squad taking shape.
I expect there's 24 marching in today and a couple more who are just arriving back in the country will come in over the next couple of days.
McKee says he will be working with players on their core skills this week and get them to understand their game plan.
The focus over the next couple of days will be around the core skills and also understanding our game plan, which quite possibly is different to the game plan they've been playing at some of their clubs.
Pethelina Thembe, who played an instrumental role for the Fijian side in last year's NRC, wasn't available for June Test selection, and also Jos Matavesi. However, McKee says they have other potential in the squad who can cover up for the fly half position.
Players around it to cover those positions, and it's one of the things for me to do working towards Rugby World Cup is make sure that we do develop players to have depth across all positions.
Nemani Nandolo and a few others are expected to arrive into the country in the next couple of days. Semiron Randra and Chosoti Sovo will join the Flying Fijians camp later for the test against Tonga. Melitavanga, FBC Sports.
The odds may be stacked against them, but the Rewa rugby side is promising to give it their best against Suva this weekend in the Skipper Cup competition. Rewa, with 3 wins from 5 matches and currently ranked 4th on the points table, except that it won't be an easy feat taking on the #1 ranked Capital City side at home. Rewa manager Petero Kavini says they'll need to put in a lot of work to counter a very experienced Suva team.
Playing Suva in Suva will not be an easy game. We will have to go on another notch up with the preparation going 110% this week, because we know most of the Suva players, they've reached that far in playing for the Fiji Warriors, especially the Flying Fijians team. So with respect them, and I will be going in as underdog this week and try and match Suva in all efforts of the game.
The Lautoka football side will hope to rectify its weaknesses from last weekend as it chases a spot in the final of the Vodafone Fiji Fact this Sunday. Fresh off a finals appearance in the OFC Champions League, the Blues hope to repeat the feat in the local competition, but this time with a win. Coach Kamal Swami says the side knows where they need to improve, and if they do, things will go their way.
To improve in our finishing, again, we miss so many chances, and we have to get the target right. And I think it will work for Lautoka.
Sia Kolisi will be the first black player to captain South Africa in a test match after being handed the role for the upcoming series against England. The 26-year-old flanker made his debut for the Springboks in 2013 as a 5th-minute replacement and was named man of the match. In today's Play of the Day, LeBron James showing some superhuman abilities for the Cleveland Cavaliers in their win over the Boston Celtics in Game 7 of the Eastern Conference NBA Finals. That's it from sports tonight. Angie joins you later on with weather. And in the world of the weird and the wonderful, apparently Fijians don't have access to the bottled Fiji water. Hollywood seems to think it's a product not readily available here. Find out more after the break.
Nalang golesenya, Obama kita nakas, dorong-dorong bina kape, on radio Fijian, nandong ibit.
Ayaw binyana, dito barong na radio Fijian, nandong ibisi, hindi natoka.
Gue ado ilaisa ingatoka, rong-rong bina na heramakawa ina radio Fijian ingatoka.
Radio Fijian, nandong ibiti.
In new media tonight, we have another new phone in the market. It looks like the Galaxy S9 Plus, has gestures like the iPhone 10 and costs hundreds less than either one. And Angie joins us now with the latest in weather.
Hello there and welcome to the Weather World. Such a wet day across the country today as the weather was all about showers. Time to get your warm blankets out. We could have heavy downpour occasionally, so keep a lookout on that and keep safe. Taking a look in the west, less sunshine and more rain and more in store for tonight. Eastwards from Pekaba to Suva, it was drizzles throughout the day. And up north, a cool one with occasional light showers. At sea, southeast winds 20 to 25 knots with rough seas. For the tides, low tide at 12:43 a.m. with high tide at 6:54 a.m. Sunrise at 6:29. For tomorrow, I wish I could tell you about the beautiful sunshine, but it's otherwise. There's showers predicted for the Fiji group. Tomorrow's temps, all centers will be in the low 20s. And looking further on to Thursday, it looks like we're in the wet season. And that's all from the FBC Weather World. Ako.
In Fijian Pulse tonight, we asked, what do you think of Shailene Woodley's comment about Fiji water not sold in Fiji?
I do not agree with the comment. Fiji water is being sold in Fiji, throughout Fiji. You go in every shop, you can find Fiji water. And on the other hand, I think Fiji water is also being exported to overseas, where our country is benefiting.
I don't think so. The actress' comment is right. I think Fiji water is sold in every shop in Navua, in Seru.
I actually thought it wasn't very fair to Fiji water because I know that after Cyclone Winston, they did give a lot of free water to villages and other places where they were really badly affected. And you can get Fiji water pretty much anywhere from like the local corner Chinese shop to like Tapu City. So she probably didn't actually spend that much time around Suva.
I believe she only came in for the shoot and then went again, so I don't think she's qualified to talk about these things because she probably doesn't have any experience of Fiji apart from the movie that she shot here.
People should be well informed, well in talking in public.
I think what she said was wrong because whenever we enter supermarket or store, we've seen Fiji water sold there.
Now recapping the main stories, Trader faces charges in relation to Homes Care Initiative. PM says no more disparity between Itaukes and Tuisova and Ranrandra joined 7th camp. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station, Gold FM. And to our poll question segment, this week we are asking, will you be watching the Highlanders vs Chiefs Super Rugby match in Suva on June 30th? Visit our FBC website to answer. And before we go, our shot of the day, sent in by Peter Rakavono Jr. This was taken at Ngarnivai village in Undu Point. You can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via our Facebook page FBC News, or you can also follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC News or simply hashtag FBC News. And that was your FBC News for tonight. From the team and I, have a safe and enjoyable week. Bye for now.
मैं नवनीत नंद नंबुआ लुम्बुआ से जैसे प्रेनी नॉर्थ
मशहूर है, वैसे रेडियो फीजी 2 भी सभी जगह मशहूर है। रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।
सीमा नकाशी से मैं रेडियो फीजी 2 पसंद करती हूँ सुनने के लिए। रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।
मैं हूँ अंकल किंग सिंगाटोका टाउन के टैक्सी ड्राइवर। जैसे रग्बी फेमस है वैसे रेडियो फीजी 2 फेमस है।
रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।